Paul, you want to talk to us about fail fast, fail safe. Kind of give us an idea where this idea came from. I think it sounds like an interesting concept.
Well, fail fast, it was kind of a strange little animal when it started off. It was in the consulting 5 years ago or so, and was working in this. Had two very distinct clients. One client was very risk averse, right? It was just no risk. Nothing can ever go wrong ever. We must have it perfect. I's dotted, T's crossed, everything, right? They were very highly regulated. It's a financial institution, right? We can be honest with that.
Yeah.
And, when you're in a financial institution, you have to have your I's dotted and T's crossed, and you can't mix up your ones and zeros, right? You have to be very careful there. So that was on one side, and I was just like, well, gosh, guys, they really had trouble innovating, right? Because they were so focused on not failing, and they tested everything within an inch of its life that it just was very consuming for them, and any kind of innovation or change for them was extremely difficult. So that was one side of the client. And then the other client, which was probably just completely diametrically opposite, was a client that was a startup, brand new product, and they were crazy energetic, crazy passionate, and we're just like, hey, let's do this and let's do this, and the direction was doing, the zigzagging was kind of going on all over, right? And I mean, it was voguing, I think is what it was. I'm not sure if that's even a thing anymore, but and so I had these two organizations, and I was just asked to put together a presentation from Amy Riddell, who's the director of the BA World and Project Summit conferences. And she's like, I really wanted to have a topic that was, that would speak to people about kind of the future and where we are today. And I said, well, what do you think about this? And one of the things that I started to put together in my mind was that the differences in these companies, and why one was very innovative, but completely unstructured and just kind of fell apart in the long run. And then I had one that was so structured that they weren't innovative at all. And I was trying to get down to the root cause of that. What was really happening there with that organization and organizations? And one of the things that I figured out was that it's their embracing failure. When you're an entrepreneurial company, failure is not a big deal, right? I mean, you just go, let's do it. Let's go out there. Let's blow it up. I mean, that's the Silicon motto, right? Fail fast, fail often.
Yeah.
But I think what's missing from that is fail safe, right? That was the one piece of it that didn't quite get into the mindset. And failing safe is an important part, right? You don't jump out of a plane without a parachute, right? You have some way of landing safely. And so I kind of put it together there. And then from there, it was a pretty big hit. We did a course on it and a North American tour and all that fun and exciting stuff.
Wow.
And then we brought it back into a book, and we got that put together and published it that way. So that's kind of how it all kind of came together. And, there was a lot of fun and exciting research with David Kolb's experiential learning theory, and a lot of fun and exciting science behind it. And we did a few studies ourselves with some of our clients and kind of added those in the book too.
Wow. So that's a lot you've covered there. It looks like an interesting way. One of the things though I think about, and I like how you kind of had the two ends of the spectrum, really, a startup and a financial services, and the risk scale, I suppose you'd say. Yeah. So, but what is something you did to get people to kind of refrain that failure and make it safe? What were some of the things you helped them do?
So one of the things that people get in their minds is that, failure is a bad thing, right? I mean, from the moment that I've entered business, and since I've been working, it has been, thou shalt not fail. It has been, like God has come down with the tablets and the 10 commandments, and you're an IT shall not fail, right? And we were told that time and time again. No matter how many times I had a tray full of punch cards and tripped and fell in the computer room and spread them all over. Disaster. For those of you who do not know what punch cards are, just think of it as a storage on paper. We'll call it that. got all scattered all over. It was funny. But that whole concept of just, reframing failure in a perspective of, hey guys, this is how you learn. And think about it from a perspective of something simple. Like the first time you took steps, the first time you learned to walk, take your first steps, right? Mom and dad were there for you. They were kind of holding your hand and you were kind of doing your thing, but you fell on your butt quite a bit. Let's be honest, when we first started off walking. And thank God mom and dad had very, padded, comfy shag carpeting for you to fall on, right? So it was safe. Now, granted, there are parents out there that kind of go a little bit too crazy with the bumper pads on every little piece of furniture, from one wall to the next. But, there was a place where you were able to fail safe. Someone was there to grab you and support you and, like, hey, it's okay. We can continue to move forward. And that was the one big part of failure that we